Initiating Hypergate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hypergate activated. The portal to illuminating the collective consciousness has finally opened. Please enter the Hypergate now.
Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Monday, September 20th, 2021. I'm astrologer Dave Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, thanks so much for being a part of HighVibe.tv. Truly appreciate your support. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Of course, tomorrow is my last class for Hypergate. Make sure that you check it out. You can, of course, register at any time. And even for those that won't be part of maybe this last one, you can always watch this whole entire series, which of course, it really is a school about these times and how to get through it, and definitely about how to deprogram yourself in all different ways. It's definitely a course for those that really want to go on the deepest part of their spiritual journey and look deeper, and especially coming from, well, not only just the divine, but some of the more secrets parts of the divine, and especially if you're into astrology and even all things metaphysical. So, last class tomorrow night live, where I'm going to be much more about answering your questions, covering any basis, and have a big last secret to reveal. And then, of course, some of the Helio stuff that I haven't been able to get to yet. Well, today, let's take a look at what's going on with this astrology today. Definitely a lot going on out there, and especially this week. I mean, it's going to be a big week. Let's just, remember that one. Remember what's coming. 6 planets retrograde, and a full moon, of course, to start off. So I want to show, so here's the 20th, but we've got a couple things going on, not only the full moon today in Pisces, but, the sun coming to its end here in Virgo. We got a couple days left. I mean, by, the 22nd, we're going to be in Libra. So we've got this energy feeling like a lot of things need to be figured out, and it can become confusing when you have a full moon that's brewing. I'm going to show you the full moon chart, but I'm just showing you that as this full moon's brewing all day, at 26, 27, and 28 it peaks, we got Mercury that's going to be in Libra at 23 degrees, making a nice trine to Jupiter, coming exact before that full moon's happening. While at the same time, we're having Mercury that's starting its square over to Pluto. So, this is quite a lot when it comes to Mercury in Libra, about finding harmony and balance, and this is where Mercury's getting ready to come retrograde, right? Mercury's coming retrograde here on the 26th, less than a week away. It's difficult, though, because I think that, Mercury square Pluto is definitely fear of, how to control things, or, where big decisions need to be made, especially how to bring more balance, relationship choices. These are all where a lot of Libra energy is, especially with Mars being in Libra, right? And the defining aspect in our life, and where we draw our courage from and our identification of things. And so this full moon in Pisces is confusing things, or is it really letting go and tapping in? It could also be where, you don't want to self-sabotage things. You don't want to self-sabotage yourself, but you also have to pay attention to the signs that wherever the universe is giving you right now in order to make the adjustments and changes in your life. So if we take a look at that full moon chart, this full moon's happening at 28 degrees exactly. So we're happening at that last degree of Pisces, which is definitely where, I don't want anybody to go insane, because it can make you feel like you're going insane, or it can make you feel like, the dark is here and there's no dawn. But, it really is a spiritual test, and a test of purity. If you're coming from the heart space, is really what spirituality is all about. And reality is all about. The purity, form, and physical and metaphysical is what Virgo, the physical, and Pisces, the metaphysical, is about. This deep look at that. And there's good aspects, of course, going on. to the nodes. It's not like they're in bad aspect. I mean, even though the nodes are in mutable signs and we're having a full moon immutable, so it's a little crazy out there. But, we are seeing them starting to make their trine and sextile. But it is Venus here at 11 degrees of Scorpio. And Venus, of course, is at detriment. We're on the last couple days of the sun being as far as not in its fall. So, there's an optimism, though, with Mercury and Jupiter. But with this Venus and Scorpio, it's definitely wanting to get to the deep buried treasure in our relationships and what we're going to do to manifest, and having a look at what we're attracting into our life, and whether it's things that we really want in our lives or we don't want, or if we're putting walls up or we're putting walls down. These are big things. Mercury is at least trine Jupiter during this full moon, like pretty much to the exact. I mean, 23:33, and then 23:32. So, we're pretty exact here. But there's definitely this big look towards the future, and also this big positive outlook on things, even though you got to face fear. It's kind of weird. It's like alternating between fear and amazement. But these are big choices this full moon is at in our life, about making radical adjustments in our day-to-day life to make altercations into our life, make change. I mean, we're definitely with Mercury square Pluto and our environment changing, and Mercury trine Jupiter, that through change is an opening of a door. And you know what? I'm just going to be honest with you. As an astrologer, with this full moon being in Pisces at 20 degrees, I can't tell you where that exact door is going to be. It's up to you and your own spiritual journey, and there's a lot of fog to that. There's a lot of, giving it to 100% God, and whatever happens, whether you lose something, it's gaining something. Whether you face something and it might be difficult, you're still gaining something beautiful that's literally a gift that's coming on the whatever it is. So no matter what happens on this journey, on this full moon, you're going to have to remember that no matter where you're at, no matter what happens, whenever you start getting into the fear, whenever you start getting into the, oh my God, I lost this, or I'm losing my control in life, I'm losing something that I wanted, or I'm losing something that I thought was going to be connected, or I'm just losing my mind, whatever it might be, there's a gain that's coming, and a positive one. That sometimes, the surrender, not sometimes, but always the surrender to God, and especially the divine, offers us the greatest insight and offers us the greatest gifts. I also want to note that Pluto is in big aspect. It's not exact, but we're still finishing that trine to the sun, and then that nice sextile to the moon here with Pluto. So change is the name of the game of this full moon, and surrender, and realizing that we only gain in our life by making transformation in our life, putting some things to an end, whatever that might be in your subconscious or in your spiritual energy that's blocking you from happiness and love and true following the divine. That's really where it's going to be, is Pluto and Capricorn. It's about big decisions, especially that are about major decisions. It's about changing the structures in your life and the system and the way that your life works, especially in the metaphysical and this purity of the physical in your life, if you're really more connected with the divine or not. And that's where, this really is at, is where in your life can you make changes where you're following your gut, you're following your intuition, you're following your divinity and your truth, and you're allowing that to be the reality, and you're allowing that to happen. You're surrendering to, this is where the universe is calling me to do. This is the signs. These are the signs that are showing me to do this. These are the signs that are showing me to do that. And it's a pure form. There's a responsibility with Capricorn and with Pluto in aspect. Like, you have to get to your deepest part of your integrity to yourself. You have to get to your deepest form of responsibility with it too. So it's definitely not just being, wildly going off your intuition in some sort of way. There's an integrity part. There's a part of, if you want to go deep and even deeper on your mission or not. And you can't, control others, and you can't have others and stuff. With Jupiter and Saturn retrograde, of course, being in Aquarius, you can't have others or you can't control others, and you can't control the actions of others. So, there's definitely an element to where, you have to have a responsibility with, like, this is how shit is going in life, and this is there's a gift that you're going to see, and there's an understanding that you're going to have to find about, like, the understanding that this reality works by a metaphysical, magical force of God that makes things happen in a certain way. And this is a full moon that's going to test that at its highest capacity for you. And it's going to seem crazy, or it's going to look maybe in the way that you didn't think it would. And you're going to have to take that. You're going to have to use it for something that's going to show up, that's going to really make an impact on your life, make a change in your life, and guide you more to your true spiritual place and calling. The card for today, let me just make a quick shuffle here. Hey, I'm on like day 4 or 3 now. No thing. I mean, I still have moments where I have my hand, but look at that. You know, it's come back. So, just it was kind of crazy because it said when you have a tendonitis in your wrist, especially going to your thumb and all that stuff, like 3 to 6 months of healing. I was like, what? I was like, it's been like 3 months to the week, maybe a little over, and it's starting to heal. So I'm going to start using it again, not have to wear a brace and stuff like that. So there's positive, Mercury trine Jupiter. There's positive out there, but there's also the reality that it still does hurt. You know what I mean? Like, and then there is pain still there, and I have to surrender to that. Like, and I got to train my hand to not be reliant on the crutch, right? And maybe that's part of the message too, is like, it's funny, like, are you not accepting gifts into your life? The stuff that's gonna make you feel good? Oh, hold on one second. Let's change slides here. This is what I pull at the bottom of the deck, which is the 4 Cups. So it's like, are we not wanting to receive good gifts right now in our life? Are we avoiding it? Are we feeling like we're not ready for good gifts in our life? That was just at the bottom of the deck, so I just wanted to, put that out there. I also thought, because this is a full moon day, we are going to do spiritual dance music tonight, mixed with Deep Love Tarot, and with Sun Sign Astrology Horoscope. So it's going to be a very big night, big show tonight. And looking forward to having you all there. Of course, if you're on High Vibe, you are, because you're watching this, like, it'll be there. But the YouTube thing is being very weird with music now. So I'll be streaming to YouTube, but I'm also going to try a new stream on my Mixcloud. And we're going to see how that goes. And then also, because it'll stay. And then there's another thing, too. I put out Purgatory for free now on Rumble. I'm testing out Rumble right now to see, and I feel like if you feel like that's a video you want to share to your friends and family or people that you know, I'm trying to get it around the underground Telegram kind of movement right now. If you know any good Telegrams out there, and you know anybody who does, or anybody that can share it, of course. I've already gotten quite a lot of views for the first video I've ever done on Rumble, and if you want to follow me on there, I'm on there. So I can start doing some, it's like one thing, I love doing like Instagram lives and stuff like that, but it's like I kind of have to rethink a lot of this stuff. Well, the first card that popped out while I was saying that was the Lady of the Lake. You have to remember the Lady of the Lake, like she makes so much of the magic happen in her life, and there's so much important things, and especially with this full moon in Pisces, it's so funny. It's like the absolute truth, the courage, self-respect, the responsibility. I mean, she's the one who really does offer Excalibur to King Arthur, but also at the same time, there's a lot of this backstory of how the magic works with Merlin and Lady of the Lake. She's the feminine version of that. And actually, there's a lot of evidence coming out that Merlin and Lady of the Lake hooked up or together. So there's a lot of what is the absolute truth today? Do you have the courage to do it? Are you respecting yourself, and are you going to take responsibility? It's funny I even brought that up. Card of the day coming with that is, wow, 5 Pentacles reversed. Like, we don't need to put ourselves through the victim role anymore in our life. We don't need to keep going through situations that make us feel like victims, or keep being victimized, or keep putting ourselves in a place of low self-esteem, low self-worth, or that feeling of poverty, or not having enough. Like, we have to surrender to whatever's making us feel that way right now, or energy that's not showing up for us to take us, but we also don't want to be like, feeling like we're taking on kind of that energy of like, that we're not, that we need to keep healing something, right? Like 5 of Pentacles is like, okay, I'm done like feeding the victimization. I'm done healing, because sometimes healing is just staying in victimhood. And I think that, this is about just already, what's the absolute truth? What's the absolute like responsibility and the self-respect and the integrity that we have to take, and the courage. So anyway, I appreciate you all very much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tonight for this full moon in Pisces. And I hope this message helped, and I truly appreciate you being on the app, and I'll see you on the next show, and I hope to see you tonight as well. Thanks so much. Talk to y'all later. Adios. Bye.
Initiating Hypergate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hypergate activated. The portal to illuminating the collective consciousness has finally opened. Please enter the Hypergate now.